Whispered Ancient Lives. Part 1. Waking with the First Light. The air is still, not silent, but still. Outside, a pale gold light stretches slowly across the Nile, touching the tops of the reeds, spilling like warm breath over the edge of the riverbank. A thin mist clings to the fields. It carries the scent of wet earth, clay, and wood smoke from the night before. Somewhere, in the distance, an ibis cries, sharp, then gone. A dog stirs. A bird shifts in a thatched roof, and in a small mud brick house near the village of Waset, a man named Hori opens his eyes. He does not speak. There is no rush. Morning in the Black Land does not arrive all at once. It unfurls like a scroll in the hands of a careful scribe. The floor is cool beneath his feet. The room is bare but clean. A woven mat, a wooden stool, a small jug of water already warm from the breath of the coming sun. Hori walks slowly to the door and lifts the reed curtain. Before him, the Nile, not as the gods see it from above, but as a farmer sees it, as life itself. Part 2. The mud brick home and the sound of grinding grain. Behind him, the scent of roasted grain floats softly through the doorway. His wife, Merit, is already awake. She crouches beside the stone grinder, pushing a rounded handstone across a slab of sandstone. Scrape. Pause. Scrape. The rhythm is steady, familiar. The sound of morning in this house, older than memory. A small clay hearth glows with the breath of flame. Smoke curls toward the open roof hole, dancing briefly in the slanted light. On a reed mat, 2 flatbreads are rising under a woven cloth. Beside them, a bowl of honey dates, mashed with a bit of barley wine. The food is simple, but it will carry them through the heat of day. Hori says nothing, but he nods, and Merit nods back. She is not young, but her hands are swift, her movements quiet. She ties her hair with a linen strip, dips a jug into the water jar, and hands it to him. Hori drinks. Slowly. The water is cool, earthy, a blessing from the flood. Part 3. Hori, a man between floods. Hori is not a young man, but his back is still strong. His hands are rough, shaped by soil, sun, and seasons. He was born in this house just as his father was, and his father before him. He knows every bend of the river, every crack in the earth where reeds rise in spring. He cannot read, he cannot write, but he can smell the coming flood. He can feel it in the wind, in the way the birds circle low, in the weight of the morning mist. Hori belongs to no temple, no palace, no army, yet he belongs to Egypt, more truly than the priests who chant her name. Between the rise and retreat of the Nile, between planting and waiting, between the silence and the harvest, Hori lives, quietly, fully, as his gods intended. Part 4. The path to the fields under the morning sun. The sun has risen, not high, just enough to spill gold across the path. The earth is damp beneath Hori's sandals, dark and rich, kissed by the flood weeks before. He carries his hoe across his shoulder, a wooden frame smoothed by years of touch. The path to the fields winds gently along the Nile. To his left, rows of date palms sway softly in the breeze. To his right, the river glimmers like melted bronze. He passes other farmers, nods once or twice, no need for words. In the Black Land, silence is not emptiness. It is understanding. Each man knows the day ahead, the weight of sun, soil, and time. A boy runs past, bare feet, laughter like birds. His own son, 8 years old. Hori smiles, just slightly. He remembers being that boy, and wonders briefly if his father once watched him the same way. A single white bird rises from the reeds. The fields are near. Part 5. the sacred silence of work. The field is wide, bordered by reeds, black with silt, rich from the flood. It is not a majestic place, not like the temples or the tombs of kings. But here, life grows. Hori steps into the furrows barefoot. The soil accepts him. Like a son returning home, he begins. One step, one breath, one motion of the hoe slicing through the damp earth. Behind him, his son follows, small hands clutching a sack of barley seeds. With every cut of the soil, a handful scatters. Each seed a prayer. They do not speak. The work has its own rhythm, a rhythm older than the pyramids, older than any name carved in stone. A breeze moves across the land, and Hori pauses. He touches the ground, then his chest, then the sky. A simple gesture, a silent offering to Osiris, the god of growth, of renewal, of return. In this moment, nothing else exists. No wars, no rulers, no records, only earth and breath, and the hope that what is planted will rise again. Part 6. A simple meal beneath the sycamore. The sun now rests higher in the sky. Its heat presses gently on the back of Hori's neck. It is time to stop. Not for long, just enough to rest the hands and calm the breath. Beneath the wide sycamore, he lays down his satchel. Its bark is old, gnarled, familiar. A place where his father once rested, and his grandfather before that. The ground is cool here. The shade sways softly with the breeze. His son sits beside him. Neither speaks at first. Hori unwraps the linen cloth. Inside, 2 flatbreads, a small piece of dried fish, a handful of figs, and a slice of salted goat cheese. Food prepared by merit, with hands that know hunger and care. He tears a piece of bread, passes it to his son. They eat slowly, not because of manners, but because food is precious. A jug of water is passed between them. The clay cools their hands. The water tastes of earth and sun. The boy leans his head against Hori's shoulder. Hori closes his eyes, and for a few breaths, there's nothing to do, no earth to cut, no seed to scatter, no offering to whisper, just shade, bread, and quiet. Part 7. Home at dusk. The sky begins to soften. The edges of clouds blush with the last gold of the day. Hori walks slowly, his hoe resting against his shoulder. Beside him, his son hums a melody, something learned from his mother. The path home is the same, but in the evening light, everything feels gentler. Palms sway, shadows lengthen, smoke curls from nearby homes, thin, fragrant, touched with spice and wood. At the doorway, Merritt waits. She does not smile, but her eyes soften. The way a door creaks open just enough to let warmth pass through. The house smells of cumin and lentils. A clay pot simmers quietly in the hearth. On the wall, a faint symbol of Taweret, protector of home and birth, watches from a line of soot. The boy drops his satchel, runs to help his sister fan the fire. She giggles, dodging ash, waving her hands. Hori leans against the frame, just watching. Not with pride, not with thought, just with presence. The family sits cross-legged on mats. Bowls are passed. Fingers dip. Laughter hums low. The house breathes. Part 8. The night sky and the whisper of the gods. Night comes quietly in the Blackland, not with sound, but with space. Space for breath, for silence, for stars. Hori climbs to the roof. The mud brick stairs creak softly beneath his feet. Up here, the world stretches wide. The Nile glimmers in the distance like a thread of obsidian. The air is cooler now. In the east, Sopdet, the star of Isis, begins to rise. He sits, hands resting on his knees. He doesn't pray out loud. He never does. But in his chest, something opens, like a door long closed but never locked. He remembers the names: Osiris, Hathor, Amun. He says them, but not with his mouth, only with breath. His eyes close. And in that stillness beneath stars older than the pyramids, older than men, Hori listens. To the wind, to the dust, to the gods who do not shout. They whisper. Part 9. A day that shone quietly. The fire in the hearth has dimmed. The house breathes slower now. Children sleep. Merritt stirs quietly in the shadows, folding cloth, placing jars, closing the day. Hori lies on his mat. His body aches, not painfully, but honestly. The ache of having lived, not grandly, but fully. Today he spoke only a handful of words. He sowed no great seeds of history. He built no monument, but he touched the soil. He shared bread. He listened to the wind. He looked at his son and saw something good growing. And that, perhaps, is enough. A day that did not shine like gold, but like clay warmed by the sun, quiet, honest, complete. Part 10, a whisper before sleep. The stars are quiet now. The night holds its breath, and somewhere, a man named Hori sleeps. No crown upon his head, no scroll to bear his name, just soil beneath his nails, bread in his belly, and peace in his chest. He will rise again tomorrow, not for glory, not for gold, but because life continues, gently, softly, like the hush before the Nile returns. And as you lie here, in your own time, your own place, know this: somewhere, in the hush of history, you are not alone. Good night, traveler.